So here we have the photo imported into Lightroom. What I would normally do is apply a preset that I made previously. What it basically does is bump up the exposure, bit of contrast, increase the highlights, lower the blacks, and increase the clarity a bit, vibrance. Sharpens it a bit, give it a bit of noise reduction, and yeah, that's basically what that preset does. But since I'm going to be processing in Photoshop, reduce the noise reduction and sharpening, because I'll be doing that in Photoshop, and I wouldn't do anything else in Lightroom as yet. I will just go straight to Photoshop.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Okay, so now we have it in Photoshop. What you do is create a layer, create a copy of the layer, and create another copy of the layer, and group these two, Control G, rename it. FS stands for frequency separation. You want to make this bigger. You want to blur the bottom layer, so you would name this low frequency, high frequency. So you go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Some people use surface blur, but you would basically blur it until it starts to blur the features on the face, so the skin looks smooth and you can't really make out all the fine details of the skin. So right now 23 looks good. And up here now you go to image, apply image. You want to select the low layer and select I don't remember whether this should be add or subtract. Okay, let me do this over. This should be on linear light. Yes, and when it's done correctly, it should look as if you haven't done anything to the photo. Yes, so here you have the high frequency layer and low frequency layer. Good. So what you want to do now is on the high frequency layer, get rid of all the spots using spot healing brush and patch tool. You want the spacing to be at 1% and hardness all the way down to 0. And you just paint over it. This may take a while. Right now I'm using the patch tool for any blemish that is larger than a pimple or zit or anything like that. You use the patch tool, or any larger patch of skin. What you want to do is use it, select the area that you want to heal, and drag it to an area. As you can see, as I move it, it changes. So you want to drag it to an area that looks more as natural as possible. It may take a bit of tries to get it looking good, and even after you've done that, you may want to go in closer. It's always good when you put faces in a group is so you can easily turn the layer on or the group on or off to see the work that you've been doing. Now remember, you need to be working on the high layer. Sometimes what I do is I create a curve layer and brighten or darken skin depending on where, so I can see blemishes more clearly in darker areas. Remember, you need to go back and select the high layer. And always remember to go back, zoom out every now and then to see if what you're doing is making a big difference or it's making the photo look worse than before. The more time you spend on it, the cleaner it will become. So you just need to have patience and work on every little detail, depending on how clean you want it to look. try to do every bit of skin that is showing, so that you don't work on just the face alone and the chest is left unprocessed, or the hands are left, or whatever. Need to have an even uniform look all over. Okay, so for the most part, I think we have removed most of the blemishes to make it not look too unnatural, but still quite an amount of cleanup has been done. And now on this layer we will even out the skin tones even more. What I normally do is, let me start from a fresh layer. What I normally do is something like this. Don't worry, it may look messed up now, but you will soon see how well this helps out. So you select the low layer and we will be working with the lasso tool. Now in filter you want to make sure that Gaussian blur is up here, and make note of the shortcut Ctrl F. So what we want to do now is blend the tones. As you can see, using this, you can see the different tones and all the separation. Now I'm going to select this area here, use the shortcut Ctrl F. As you can see, it blends somewhat. Normally add a bit of feather there, so 3 to 5 pixels. You just continue doing this until it's pretty much even. I mean, you won't get total evenness all across the board, but a bit more even. And turn this off to see the big difference it makes. I'll do one without that. It's just really a guide, so you start somewhere and you work your way around, because you want to do this basically to all areas, but some area you will need to do it more than once. This is where you really start to see stuff getting smoothed out. From time to time, remove this layer so you can see whether or not you're overdoing it. Always make sure you're working on each low layer for this process. The beauty about this is, if you see some things like I saw right now, these spots here, you can always go back to the eye layer. You can even have this and work on them. Now usually what people do is use a clone tool and try and clone the skin tones and even it out, but that may be a better process, but this is surely a much shorter one, and the results aren't that big of a difference. As you can see, the lighting on our face is more even now. Alright, so that's where I think I'm going to stop frequency separation for now. Time for dodging and burning. Dodging and burning is basically a process where dodging is lightening an area of the image and burning is basically darkening an area of the image. There are dodge and burn tools here, but we won't be using any of those today. This is more control, and you have much more control over this than using the tools. So this is a curved layer with a layer mask. So you darken this bit. Always drag down from the center so you get even or as close to even tones. And what you want to do here is invert, but I'll be using a shortcut Control I. And make another one. This time you're going to bring it up. And this one we'll call touch. Now again, shift and click down here. Control G, add to a group. EB, dodge and burn. Oh, forgot to invert. So now, well, depending on what you want to do, in this case I want to darken the background a bit, or some of it. So I'll go on my burn layer. If you want to be painting with the brush tool, opacity of about 70, so of about 10. Basically you just want it to be subtle. As you can see, you barely see the difference right away. And you want to have a brush, the hardness at 0 or 0 to 10. I'm using 0 for now. What this will do is add some separation, some further separation from the background. To the dodge layer. No, I haven't successfully mastered dodging and burning skin as yet, but you could watch contouring videos with makeup on YouTube and you will get a good sense of what you need to do. Basically where they darken, you dodge, you burn, and where they lighten, you dodge. Pretty much the same concept. But you always lighten under the eyes. Again, I'm smoothing out here because I didn't remember to do it. Now, there are some people that probably want the skin smoother than this. I'll cover that in another tutorial, but for now this is frequency separation and jump burn. So to import back to Lightroom now, all you do is save. You go file and save, but I normally just do Ctrl S. Okay, but that just saved, but I just realized something else I wanted to do. She has some nice ear lights, but I wanted to accentuate that even more. So now Ctrl S again, save to Lightroom. Okay, it's time to go over to Lightroom now. This is where we started. This is where we're at. So now it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And this is a graduated filter. What I'm going to do here is darken the side a bit. And increase the exposure on this side a bit. At an angle. So again, this is where we started. This is where we're at now. And now, darken the blacks a bit. Pop the highlights. Add some contrast. Not too much. Clarity isn't something I use a lot, but sometimes it helps. I usually don't go beyond 10. Saturation, I don't use any at all of the positive side. Basically what I just did was reduce saturation and increase vibrance. So vibrance, or the vibrance side of the is to increase the tones that are most dominant, while saturation just increase all the tones. Now down here, I'm going to reduce some of the green saturation. And increase the reds a bit. It's already warm. Cool it down a bit. Not much. I prefer cooler images, but it's up to you. It looks good warm also. And then when the cross process it a bit. That's pretty much it. See how a vignette would work here. Seems to work well. So yeah, that's it.